Cardano has broken records once again, and I'm talking about wallets created and just the use of the blockchain. In this video, I want to talk about that, some of the data that we can see, but also what the future is for scaling on Cardano, because that is a really big topic right now, and it actually looks really good. Cardano obviously do everything step by step, and we can see with Hydra and some of the ZK rollup technologies that are coming to Cardano that basically very fast transactions and cheap transactions are coming. So right now what we're seeing is the blockchain kind of bunched up a little bit, but they're bringing improvements in step by step. Really good news for Cardano, and generally great news for other chains as well, because they're going to be able to link up with Cardano if they want extra scale. Just looking at the crypto prices, it was a great week last week for crypto prices. I just want to touch on this because you can see Bitcoin up 13%. This means everything else can get a relief rally as well. Ethereum's done really great. We come down some of the kind of high beta plays, Terra, Avalanche, always do well when risk on is in the markets. They're doing really well. Cardano, obviously down in the last hour, needs to keep its dollar peg, so it's a little bit above that. Something interesting about Cardano that I just want to talk about as well and touch on is, why is Cardano kind of soft at the moment, right? Well, there's two reasons. Firstly, TVL is still very low, and that's what a lot of hedge funds use for some reason to dictate how healthy a blockchain is. TVL for me isn't like the main thing, but some funds will look at this and only really invest when TVL is huge. We can see some data in a second. The second reason is we've actually seen DEXs launch on Cardano. We've seen Sunday Swap, which still isn't great, but we have Muesli Swap. We have other DEXs as well that have all launched. The thing is, most of these don't actually have a stable coin to trade. And this means people that want to get Cardano ecosystem tokens like World Mobile Token, Sunday Token, Muesli Swap, Milk Token, they have no real other option than to sell ADA for that token, right? So there's no kind of stable coin that they can put in. That means you're selling Cardano to buy those other coins. So you may just be seeing some liquidity come out of Cardano and actually into those other coins. What I would suggest is definitely look at the market cap of those coins before you buy it. If you're on Muesli Swap or Sunday Swap, just check the market cap and the fully diluted market cap. It's really important because I'm seeing some of these tokens, fully diluted market caps at like $3 billion, which is way more than any of the biggest dApps, right? So you have Aave, PancakeSwap, which are huge and they just chuck out cash. They're valued at $2 billion. And you're getting kind of really early stage Cardano tokens, like fully diluted market cap, way more than that. So just be careful and understand the market cap of these tokens before you start buying them. Quickly, if you want to know more about market cap and how I trade and invest, I'm actually putting the price up of the course at the end of this week. So if you want to get involved with the course, got 150 videos on cryptocurrencies and how I invest. Check that one out in the description. But I want to come on to the data, the records that have been broken, right? So we can see ADA wallets actually just tipped over 3 million. You can see this coming up every day. We've now got 3,015,000 wallets. Again, comparatively with Ethereum and the tokens or the coins that are up near Cardano, Cardano is smaller than them. Obviously a lot of growth to come. What I'm talking about with total value locked as well, you can see it's kind of stalled right here. So we do need kind of more upgrades. I think we need more DEXs and we need DeFi to come on. In my opinion, this is going to probably come later. We're in February. I'm looking at probably middle of the year to the end of the year to see TVL really explode, because DeFi really is where a lot of that TVL is going to come from. People lending out their tokens, and of course, really important is stable coins as well. A huge amount of liquidity comes in when you can have stable coins trading against other things, and that is yet to come. So there's a lot of good news. The wallets are going up, everything's going up. The native tokens, you can see you're just printing more and more native tokens every day. Also really important is the transactions versus payments. Cardano is very different to Ethereum and all of the Ethereum based chains or the EVM based chains in the way that it has transactions. Cardano uses something called UTXO, which is the same as Bitcoin, or they have extended UTXO because you can have a lot of different native tokens on the ledger. But what's different about UTXO is that in one transaction, you can actually send multiple native assets all at once. And so one transaction may actually have many different spends. So just comparing transactions per second isn't really accurate in any way. So what you can see here, and this is great in the Data Studio, you can go to Cardano Data Studio on Twitter. That That's their Twitter for this. Really good information. You can see transactions and also payments in red. So one transaction can have multiple payments. So you can see we're doing about 300, 400,000 payments every day. It's definitely good, but there's definitely a long way to go in terms of the amount of TVL and everything like that. Some of the upgrades, which I'll talk about now, are really gonna help that in the coming months. One of the most exciting projects for me is Milkomeda, which is basically a sidechain for Cardano that's gonna link Cardano with Ethereum or EVM chains. This is really important for Cardano itself, because obviously the liquidity is all on Ethereum. So what this is going to do is actually allow you to link up the Milkomeda sidechain with an Ethereum wallet. So if you have a MetaMask, and you've done this before, if you've linked up, Binance Smart Chain, Phantom, Arbitrum, whatever, you can also link up Milkomeda. That's obviously really important because Milkomeda is a Cardano sidechain. So what you can see here is some of the benefits. Occam, which is obviously like a DeFi protocol on Cardano, and has, like a launch pad. You can see some of the benefits of this. So because of Milkomeda, you can see you can move tokens like USDC from Ethereum to the Milkomeda DevNet and eventually, obviously, the live mainnet. Or you can move native Cardano tokens from Cardano to Milkomeda. And that means you can use those tokens on in MetaMask potentially and with other EVM applications. This is obviously massive for Cardano. This is going to potentially mean that millions or billions of dollars worth of tokens can move between Cardano and Ethereum. This is really important, really more for Cardano, to be honest, than Ethereum. Ethereum, based apps don't need this, but obviously there's a huge community that uses Cardano, and so having this is going to benefit everyone. The main thing for me is that you can get stable coins onto Cardano as well and move them across different chains, which is obviously going to be very, very beneficial for Cardano as well, because liquidity will come in. So they actually are building this wallet called Flint Wallet. So this is the wallet that will link, the Milkomeda sidechain up. What you can see right here, essentially, is that you can add Milkomeda to MetaMask and then actually get Cardano native tokens from Cardano. You can see Milkomeda mode. You can get your ADA balance and a Milkomeda Ethereum address, and this will kind of link them up. So really important kind of for developers in the back end is that liquidity can be moved from Ethereum-based wallets and chains over to Cardano. So there's a huge value add here for Cardano coming. What's also really kind of interesting about Milkomeda is that they're working on layer 2 as well. Now, this is really good for both Cardano and EVM applications. Layer 2, obviously, with ZK rollups, basically just make everything cheaper and more secure. It's a great technology, and it means that this is just something that EVM applications can use as well, because ZK is coming in many different forms. Matic are working on it, Starknet, ZK Sync, and obviously, Milkomeda is a competitor here, but the more options, the better. So they're going to be using ZK Tech layer 2 on top of Milkomeda that is linking Ethereum and Cardano, which is, I think, good news pretty much for everyone, to be honest. Something else that they're working on is Hydra. Hydra is a scaling solution, or I should say kind of a name for a group of scaling solutions. This is really important for Cardano because obviously you have lots of other things that they're doing. They're increasing the block size short term, but long term Hydra is going to help. Hydra is kind of unique. If you read through this article, sounds to me a little bit like Lightning Network on Bitcoin. I'm not too sure on the actual technology behind it, but essentially Hydra is going to make a lot of different groups of actors be able to have direct links and then reduce transaction cost to almost nothing. So you can see Hydra offers increased throughput, minimized latency, and cost-efficient solutions without substantial storage requirements. So this is good, obviously, increasing scale without affecting potential decentralization, which is obviously the key to a blockchain. So what you can see is that when forming a head, this is why I think it's kind of like a lightning connection on Bitcoin. When forming a head, participants may commit funds This means moving funds on chain to a script address that locks them under specific rules. The script guarantees safe execution of the protocol on chain, and in particular that participants cannot cheat one another. Again, that sounds a lot like the Lightning Network on Bitcoin, where you have coins in a Lightning Network connection that obviously no one can, cheat someone else out of it. But what we can see really is the main thing is that Hydra heads excel when achieving near instant finality. Since Hydra also uses the UTXO model, they can process non-conflicting transactions concurrently. Concurrency is a big issue with blockchains, so it looks like this is good and the finality is good as well. It allows for optimal use of available resources. So essentially what this can do, and if you look here, you can watch this video on from IOHK as well. They go through it. But what is the use of this? Well, DeFi and DEXs. We've seen Sunday Swap, they haven't had a great time of it, right? So, there's just not enough scale and it doesn't really work. But Hydra coming in obviously will mean potentially that they or other DEXs that use different technologies can basically have a very quick, fast and cheap exchange, which is obviously beneficial. It's great to see prices on the move up. I'm sure we're going to have way more volatility this year. It's nice to see prices are actually moving in the right direction for investors anyway, but there's just so much more development this year that's coming. We're having scaling solutions come on. Cardano is going to be introducing those as well. We're seeing other scaling solutions launch, like from Matic as well. So very good news in terms of the fundamentals this year. Like always, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging into the best projects, just taking a long-term view, trying to buy more when the prices are red, and obviously dollar cost averaging a little bit less if prices get out of hand. But nice to see things moving up. Like I said, if you want to get into the course now, the price will be going up at the end of this week, trying to delay the price increase. I've added 25 new videos recently. If you want to see my trades and my portfolio as well, definitely get the course because that's all in there. I'm James with Money's EG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.